Good evening. The news from SBC. The Employment Department has not approved the redundancy application by Air Seychelles. The national airline had applied to make redundant 10 pilots in accordance with the provision of the Employment Act 1995. A press release from the Ministry of Employment says that after both parties were heard in the consultation process, the Employment Department did not approve the redundancy. The parties have been notified and Air Seychelles has a right of appeal to the Minister within 7 days. The process is still ongoing and the department has said that it cannot make any comment so as not to compromise the evidence in the case. The 2021 edition of the Africa Day of Seas and Oceans was opened this afternoon at State House under the theme Transforming the Challenges of African Seas and Oceans to Opportunities. The objective is to raise awareness on the critical role played by Africa's oceans and seas in attaining sustainable development. Normally, the day is commemorated on the 25th of July, but due to the COVID-19 situation, the ceremony was held today. The keynote address was delivered by President Wavel Ramkalawan. The occasion was graced by the head of the AU delegation, Josepha Sako.
As an island nation-state totally surrounded by the ocean, Seychelles considers these water bodies worthy of special status and recognizes them to be among Africa's most prized natural assets. They need to be valued, protected, and taken good care of. Our seas and oceans are very strategic economic assets and could be regarded as our modern-day development efforts. Africa is indeed well located to play an important role in the world economy for the richness of its oceans and the facilities she provides for world trade.
Blue economy is one of the priorities of the African Union among all the sectors, and this is a new area that came to my department. Before, we didn't have really a defined strategy for the blue economy. Since we are undergoing reform on the continent, so during the reform, the structure of a blue economy came to my department. So it's new. We are on the recruitment process, recruiting the African skill personnel to work on that. And we have our own African blue economy strategy, which we need to implement. And we believe that with experience that Seychelles has in blue economy, and yesterday I had the opportunity to have a bilateral meeting with the Minister of Fisheries and the blue economy, and I had the opportunity to really, to really get familiar with your plan, the maritime spatial plan. They showed it to me, they introduced it to me, very rich, and I believe that this can serve as a model to really disseminate in all other countries in order to implement. We are going to the process of the domestication of the African blue economy strategy to the national plan, so that all the countries can have their own blue economy the way Seychelles has got.
President Wavel Ramkalawan will be out of the country for a private visit from the 6th to the 9th of August. During the President's absence from the country, his duties and responsibilities will be discharged by Vice President Ahmed Afif. President Ramkalawan has appointed the new board of the Development Bank of Seychelles. The chairperson of the board is Norman Weber and the deputy chairperson is Dick Labonte. The other board members are Rupert Simeon, Ashwin Banderi, David Jean-Baptiste, Daryl Urani, Philippa Samson, and Ms. Jean Prera, who has also been appointed as new Chief Executive Officer of the DBS, where she has held a long career of 25 years, including over 5 years as the head of finance. The board members have been appointed for a 3-year period, effective from the 1st of August. The CEO of the SBC, Béra Dupré, has reacted to President Ramkalawan's statement about the treatment of news items by the SBC during the live press conference last night. President Ramkalawan was responding to a question regarding senior government officials' ongoing reluctance to give prompt information to journalists. The President stated that some ministers were not satisfied with the length of news items, which they claim are too short and do not reflect what they stated in the interviews.
I believe our team does a good job in trying to ensure that whatever is relevant that is being said is passed on to the public. The feedback is given. We will continue to review how we're doing it. But I trust the experience and the long years of experience of our team within the newsroom and their training as well into how they want to treat any particular news item. In that, there are two stakeholders in there. And if I want to say something and want it to come across, maybe sometimes 1 minute is enough for something that I probably have taken 3 minutes to say. And I think in terms of the PR and communication that needs to happen in terms of the training to make things, the message that we want to convey, either as politicians or government officials or any person, maybe there is a bit of understanding and training that sometimes less is more. And for us, I appreciate that this is the message. And we don't have to, quantity doesn't mean quality. The SBC would prefer to have quality rather than length and long durations of interviews that perhaps in some instances, as it was in the past, puts off our audience.
The Committee on Government Assurances from the National Assembly held its second visit today to projects promised by the government since 2019. This morning, the members visited the port extension project that the Ports Authority has been working on. This was a project that was initiated in 2007 and has seen some setbacks in getting the right design and finances. The chairperson of the committee says that even if there has been a delay, the committee is satisfied with the development so far. The construction work is scheduled to start in June next year.
The committee itself, the Government Assurance Committee, we are quite satisfied with what we have seen, and we are also quite satisfied with the presentation that Ports Authority has delivered. They have informed us of the constraints for the time being, why the project has delayed. So we are maybe emphasizing that Ports Authority may be discussed further with the donors so that the project can be materialized as soon as possible.
And finally, the Seychelles Fishing Authority has won a landmark illegal fishing case in the Supreme Court. Chief Justice Ronnie Govindan ruled for 2.5 million rupees fine against a Sri Lankan skipper. Have a very pleasant evening.